Alright, we're back and making fun of fat people for falling asleep on discs. As they're known to do.
I think I should just sell Dream Eater. I'm never gonna use it.
No, because if you get... Okay, so, hear me out. Tower. Catch Ghastly. Haunter is still pretty solid, even if he can't become Gengar.
But doesn't he learn Dream Eater naturally?
I don't know.
Oh man, I didn't even fucking go to a new zone, and it... Or I suppose I did go to a new zone, but I didn't go inside anything. It still fucking... needs me to cut the fucking tree again! Fucking video game.
Nope, keep going higher, I think.
And once again, Jay is wrong on stream.
No, because you go through that house.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because there's Verdian Forest.
Turns out Cam jumped the gun about Jay being wrong on stream.
Yeah, now who looks stupid?
Still me.
Yeah. It is also me!
Oh man. For those of you who don't know what we're referencing, look up, there's this Warhammer 40k thread that lasted for a very long time.
It was on TG, just so people know what we're talking about.
Which is a board on 4chan, which is on the internet, which is a thing that you do with computers that Al Gore invented.
Yeah.
Also, I want to try
So
this
he
to see if it works.
It does.
Yeah! Cut. Anyway,
I believe that's the same animation they used in some Zelda games, where it has the leaves falling.
Anyway, basically it's a talk about how the Inquisitor's whore of a daughter, or no, the Planetary Governor's whore of a daughter accidentally started a war between every major faction in 40k.
And some minor ones.
And the only people who are having any fun are the orcs, because their entire biology forces them to go and fight people, and, like, they
enjoy it.
And the person who's having the best go of it is a Gretchen, which is like this little goblin creature.
They're the 40k equivalents of goblins, and they are treated they are treated as absolute shit by the orcs.
They're
because they are
routinely
small.
kicked, stepped on, eaten, attacked,
fed to squigs, harvested for teeth, although grot teeth are not worth much. Tea for teeth, it's pretty much like pulling pennies out of cement.
Oh, whoops.
Can't sell that.
No! The fucking latency. Anyway, basically there's this one grot in the story who gets turned into a Killakan as a result of his actions. And Killakan is basically like a little mini mech suit that grots are put in, which makes them super strong.
But as a reminder, because they're grots, they're still overall kind of shitty.
Right, but anyway, this grot's just having the best fucking time, because he goes from being an absolute butt monkey who everyone picks on, into being big enough to just destroy a Chaos Space Marine by hitting him with weapons.
Weapons that he previously wouldn't have been able to do, because...
It's like a buzzsaw the size of a human.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And, like, there's this one really good line that I quote incessantly around Jay, and it's like, I showed this guy who's the choppiest, it's me. And then I showed this other guy who's the shootiest, also me. Showed this guy who's the stompiest, still me.
Trying to resurrect ancient Pokemon from Amber.
Can I have Amber?
Shh. Take the shock of Amber to today's Pokemon meeting. It'd be great if the Pokemon could be resurrected from it. But my colleagues just ignore me. So I have a favor to ask. Take it to the lab and get it examined. Where's the lab?
It's on an island far to the south of here.
It's on an island where they're resurrecting dinosaurs near a volcano.
Oh god. I never even put that together! How did I never put that together?
Yeah, I was actually surprised that you never did you honestly never fucking figure that out?
No, I never thought about it. Fuck.
Oh, man. It's got everything you need. It even has a mansion wherein the previous genetic fuck-ups went wrong.
You mean the Dittos?
Mewtwo.
The Dittos.
Also Ditto.
The Dittos went wrong. The Mewtwo went super right.
Yeah, too right, though.
Yeah. It turned into a Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah. Couldn't be contained. Like Rush Limbaugh. And he only comes out every Saturday night. Like Rush Limbaugh. Now I have this fucking mental image of a morbidly obese Mewtwo ranting to his fellow Americans about the evils of gym leader society or something. I don't know.
They put chemicals in the water that makes the tentacles.
No, that's Alex Jones.
Oh yeah. Rush Limbaugh's the one who like runs conservative campaigns.
Yeah.
But
My fellow Americans, these liberal gym leaders, they don't want us resurrecting dinosaurs. We gotta bring the Aerodactyl back. It's only could be good for society. That's what Arceus wanted.
Fuck, Arceus didn't even exist back then.
Yeah.
Oh, then again, though, if they were to say Mew, that would be a tacit admission of evolution.
Mm-hmm. But Pokemon evolve.
Fuck off. They don't evolve. It's just a test of faith by Arceus.
Yeah.
They're exactly.
Don't believe this Duck Trio is an evolution. It's just three Duck. It's just three Digletts. Don't fall for liberal lies, gluing innocent Diglets together. Okay, but what about Charmander? He legitimately grows wings and horns.
Well, everyone believes in microevolution. No one disputes that.
Yeah, shit can
It's
change.
just macroevolution that we don't believe in, despite the fact that macroevolution is just a shit ton of microevolutions over a long period of time.
Yeah, but they result in radically different as opposed to minorly different.
Well, yeah, I mean, 99 is moderately different than 100, and 98's moderately different than 99, and 97 and 6 and so forth, and then eventually you have, like, 2.
Yeah.
And
Well, what I'm trying to say here is that in the Pokemon world, up until Alola, there hasn't been any hard evidence of, like, macro evolution. And now we have Alola, Sandshrew, and Alola, like, the Alola forms are straight up macro evolution.
Yeah, true. Then
Which
again,
is kind of funny, because now we actually have genuine evolution in the Pokemon games.
it's also highly implied that, Scyther is just an evolution of fucking, Kabutops.
Yeah, in Lavender Town, there's a man who rates Pokemon nicknames. Told you there was a nickname changer.
Yeah. You said there was a move deleter.
You're right.
Which there isn't.
Right.
What's up here?
This dude who is, trading. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you can't, so
Wait, he's looking for a Nidorino, and oh, okay, so if I get the female and I want the
No.
male.
Because Nidorina is the female. He wants
Right.
the male, which is the only one you can catch in this game. I believe. Look at the binoculars. Only one way to get to Cerulean City to Lavender Town. Through that awful cave with the exploding rocks. That's gonna be fun. I remember me, I'm Professor Oak's aide. If you got 30 kinds of Pokemon, I'll just fuck off preemptively. If you got at least 30 kinds of Pokemon? Oh, I see. Get out.
Fucking asshole.
Do your job better.
Oh, look, it's Jay's mom.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, fuck, I have to go all the way back to Cerulean.
Oh, man, you know what that reminds me? Oh, just fucking go through the grass and train, like, incidentally train someone who's shit. You know what that reminds me of? The one time where Ian tried that your mom joke on you where he's like, your mom's a whore, and your answer was, yeah, probably.
Shut him up.
Yeah, he's like, And that's one of the things, if you just agree to those jokes, there's really nowhere for the guy to go.
Yep.
He just has to be like, you too. And then he runs away.
Oh, fuck, that happens all the goddamn time where I say, like, enjoy your movie, you too.
Yeah, and then you just, like, you start sweating profusely. You're like, what have I done?
Oh, man, did you know that Canada has a special law called the Apology Act, where if you're in court and you apologize to someone instinctively, because that's what Canadians do, it cannot be used as an admission of guilt.
That's actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
man.
if someone's like, my dad died, and you're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's fair that it doesn't count as an admission of guilt, because you could be genuinely trying to sympathize with the person.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's always assumed to be sympathy.
Yeah.
Which, I think that's a solid move.
Leads me to wonder how many cases in the US have they tried that on, where it's just like, I'm sorry, see, admission of guilt!
Oh, man. I wonder how many times that's happened to a Canadian, and they've just been like, that's just what we do! Oh, no. Criticals.
What's up, everybody?
Fuck off.
Oh, man, you got truffle shuffled.
fuck? I haven't seen Goonies in forever.
Goonies was an okay movie.
Yeah, Goonies was fine, but I honestly don't understand why it was so, like, beloved.
That's I believe, the most fair we can be to it. It was fine. The movie was there was nothing wrong with the Goonies.
Well, there wasn't.
Yeah.
Also, how many balls do I have?
Enough.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna run to the center first, because that Spiro fucking hit like a tank.
Yeah. That Spiro may have died, but boy did he make you bleed. You just send out Pidgeotto like, bow to your god, and then the Spiro's like, gods don't bleed. He threw his beak at you.
Yeah, I never understood that in the movie. Why would Leonidas make him bleed intentionally when he could have just put the spear through his fucking forehead and killed him and made him bleed?
I believe the implication was supposed to be the dudes were tackling him too soon, so he couldn't get a clean shot, but he was sort of saving face for the fact that he at least was able to make the whole Persian god myth collapse around him.
Also, I find it hilarious.
Also, it was originally based on a comic book which was sold purely by rule of cool.
Yep.
So, the answer to that question is because it was cool.
Also, I love how much fucking attention Thermopylae gets, despite the fact that it accomplished nothing. And
I mean, it was a major rallying point, if nothing else. And to be fair, the Spartans holding that pass. Okay, well, not the Spartans, but the Greek alliance, led by the Spartans, holding that pass, did actually manage to significantly fuck up the Persians' momentum. The loss of momentum, the huge cost in troops for the disproportionate gains, cost the Persians heavily, coupled with the not often talked about Athens' naval victories, effectively crushed the Persian invasion based on the fact that, oh fuck, everything's on fire.
Well, here's a few things, though. The Persian,
Can't go this way.
Alright, fuck.
Oh my god, Dirty, I'm thirsty. Get out of here, kid.
The,
Give me soda or I won't let you
Thermopylae only stalled the Persian war
Can't
machine
go that
for
way, you have
3
to go
days.
through there.
Only stalled the Persian war machine for 3 days, and no one actually used those 3 days to any effect. Athens still got burned anyway, and then later regrouped for naval victories. The second is those naval victories happened almost an entire year after Thermopylae, because the Persians were just rampaging unopposed through Greece.
They did burn Athens, but it was noted as having been predominantly evacuated.
It was entirely evacuated,
yeah, so
and that wasn't because of the 3 days, that's because it takes a long-ass time to walk to Athens.
Yeah. Even still, like, the entire thing with Thermopylae is that you can't discount the sheer volume of Persians that, like, the Persian army, how fucked up it got.
Yeah, the Persians lost about 20,000 people to the, I think, about 4,000 that the Greeks lost.
So yeah, it was 300 Spartans, a conglomerate of other ones, which I think it totaled between 3,000 and 4,000. I mean, I think
also, the loss wasn't because of some weird mutant, it was because the Phoenicians sucked ass.
Yeah.
Or, not the Phoenicians,
was it the Athens who were guarding that?
No, it wasn't Athens. It was like this tiny little...
Thespians! Thespians! It was the Thespians
guarding...
guarding...
Yeah, it was the Thespians!
Yeah, and like the Spartans and everyone else was doing super good at the pass, so they kind of just lazied up, and the Persians... Now, to be fair, the Hunchback was fake, but the fact that it was a turncoat Greek that told them about the mountain pass is true. Yeah. It was a there was a Greek.
It was a local shepherd
who pretty much sold the information, and then the immortals, like the absolute madmen they were, climbed up a fucking cliff face in full battle gear to surprise the Thespians, which it's their fault for being pretty much asleep at the door, but also, I mean, even in the best of cases, you never are fully prepared for an enemy force to show up in a place it shouldn't, in full armor, through a path that was suicide when you're naked.
Yep.
It's like with Hannibal and the elephants crossing the fucking Alps. Doesn't matter how prepared you are, nothing prepares you for a madman crossing a mountain range on the backs of monsters.
That being said, though, the whole thing with the Thespians is that they were the only group, the Spartans were the only people who really understood how warfare worked at the time out of the Greeks, right?
Well, it's because they were the only ones that were, it's because the Spartans were the only ones that actually had professional soldiers as opposed to
just people who they handed spears to.
Oh no, there was a system for it, but effectively, if you were to be a citizen of a city-state, you had to be willing to defend it. That said, the Spartans trained as soldiers on a daily basis, whereas these dudes, I think, showed up for like a yearly refresher, and that was about it.
Anyway, basically the whole deal is because the Spartans so heavily outclassed all the other people, the Spartans were automatically all promoted to the officer caste, and were all in charge of, like, dealing with these people.
Because, I mean, when you have, like, genetically bred super soldiers, you might as well use them.
Right.
No, you're poisoned.
Oh, shit. I have the item for it, though.
Yeah. It's antidote. It's top. You passed it.
Basically, the whole thing was that the Spartans deemed it so unlikely that anyone would go up that path, and deemed it so necessary to defend the Hot Gates, that they assigned 0 Spartans to keep the Thespians in line.
Well, they used to have them, but they had to recall them when it looked like no one was going to do it, and then... Because they had them there initially, but they moved them away when it was a case of, like, no one's coming this way. Coupled with... oh, you know what? We'll see you next time, folks.
Bye, everybody.